Hello, my fair friends. I'm Ruby Ruse. This is Baby Bunny, and welcome to this episode of Fairy Fortunes. For this episode, I wanted to do another video blog. So if you do like this kind of content, please leave a comment in the description box below. If you hate this kind of content, you probably better tell me, because I'm probably going to keep doing vlogs until somebody says, knock it off, Ruby. So please let me know your comments, your thoughts, rather. So Bunny and I have traveled all the way to Baraboo, Wisconsin, and we are currently at the Rogues and Ruffians Festival. Oh, so the reason that this is so very Blair Witch is actually because much like the found footage film, I am camping in Wisconsin in October, and I will have you know that it did snow today. And here I am in a tent in Wisconsin in October. I wanted to try camping actually because I really wanted to find a way to lower my expenses to do festivals. Most of you know that my prices for my fortunes are very, very low. I have many reasons for doing that. The reason is that I really feel like there's a lot of people out there that have always wanted to try fortune telling or having their cards read, and but the price has always turned them away, and so they are very worried. It's a little hard to commit to paying a large fee for a very short experience. So I wanted to keep my prices low so that many more people could try divination and try having their fortune told, because it is a very, very fun experience, I think. So I really love meeting new people, and I would really like to share the fairy fortune experience with as many people as I can. Therefore, I keep my prices very, very low so a lot more people can have this opportunity, because it's fun and you should try it. So I had to come up with a way to lower my expenses so that I could keep doing these festivals, because it when you factor in, as I mentioned, I'm a terrible traveler. My flying skills are really horrible. I crash into things, it's terrible. So I'm a terrible traveler, and so I was staying at hotels to do festivals, but that can actually be pretty expensive. And it's always such a challenge because I come wandering in, I'm usually dirty from the flight, I've got my goggles all askew and my hair is like it is right now. And of course they're like, who is this crazy person with wings? Hello, fairies are real. So it's often challenging staying at a hotel. I have done camping in the past, and I have enjoyed that experience. I'm a very good outdoor cook. For the record, I had a fantastic dinner tonight, and I cooked it in the rain, so there. So I have done camping. I have enjoyed that experience, so I thought I would give it a try. I figured if I could camp in October in Wisconsin, that I could camp pretty much anywhere. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. So there you go. So actually, it was not bad. The only problem is that I did have some flight delays yesterday. So when I arrived to set up at Rogues and Ruffians, I was kind of having a little bit of a challenge. I was a little stressed out because I was later than I really wanted to be. And then it got dark. In fact, what time is it? Let me check my magic box and I'll tell you what time it is. It's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock at night. And it is pitch black in here. It's dark. It's 7 in the evening and it's dark. So I got here and I thought I would have time. I did have time. It's not like it was super late or anything. It was just 7 o'clock at night last night, and here I am setting up my campsite in the dark. Yay! So that was a bit of a challenge. And I have actually never camped outdoors in the fall, so that was a little bit of a new experience. I knew that it would be cold, so I did try to prepare for that. I didn't quite prepare enough. But as you can see, I'm having a great time. I'm laughing about it. I just really enjoy doing festivals, so I'm very, very grateful to be here and very happy. So you don't have to worry about me freezing to death. I'm just fine. Can you see my breath in this video? Leave me a comment let me know in the comments below if you can actually see my breath in this video. Because it is cold. It's cold. I don't want to look and see how cold it is. That if I see what the temperature actually is, that I will then, psych myself out. I'm like, oh, it's super cold, which right now I am a little chilly. I've noticed that my hands are cold, my nose is probably red, so you may notice that in the video. But other than that, I'm actually doing pretty good. So let me tell you more about Rogues and Ruffians. Here I am talking and complaining about how cold it is. Ooh. I am here at a gathering of Rogues and Ruffians, a Renaissance fair. This is a festival that is run by a company called Shakespeare on the Edge. And apparently they started the Rogues and Ruffians Renaissance Fair to raise funds for Shakespeare on the Edge so that they can continue doing their creative work. Now, I've had the great fortune of being a patron of Rogues and Ruffians before I started telling fortunes here last year. And I have to tell you, these are very funny. They are very talented young men and women, and if you have the chance, I urge you to come out and see them at Rogues and Ruffians or take in one of their shows. They are based in the Wisconsin area. Rogues and Ruffians is held in Baraboo, so please go to their website and check out their programming. They also have a Facebook page, and of course I will link all of that information for you down below. So they are a very welcoming, warm, and friendly company. I was very pleased that when I arrived all disheveled last night, that they remembered my name and were very, very helpful. So really, it is Wisconsin, and it is October, but I'm urging you to try coming out to Rogues and Ruffians because it is a great little festival, and you will not regret coming out here to see these people perform. They're amazing. So I had a great experience last year. I'm having a good one this year. Unfortunately, it did rain today, and sometimes that does scare people away because especially in the autumn months of October, that rain can turn very, very cold. So make sure that if you are dressing in Renaissance Fair attire, that you are wearing warm attire underneath, and perhaps a cloak might be a great investment if you enjoy taking in Renaissance fairs. So I had some great experiences. I am so delighted that my friends Tom and Dawn came out to see me especially, so I'm really, really grateful. I had a wonderful time seeing the two of them. So thank you for coming. Shout out to Tom and shout out to Tom and Dawn. They didn't come together. They probably, I don't know if they even know each other, but they should, because they're both great people, and great people should gather together. So shout out to my friends Tom and Dawn. Thank you so much for coming to see me again. I do love telling fortunes at festivals. I could do it all day, and in fact I do. I really feel that fortune telling is very much a shared experience, because you really create a moment together. It is a shared experience. It's a dialogue, I feel, between two people. I had one young lady that came into my tent today, and she had a question in mind, but she did not want to tell me her question. And I said, you don't have to tell me your question. So, but you still have to participate in the fortune. You still have to be willing to listen to the story being told and see if you can apply that story to the question that you have in mind. Fortune telling really is a way to tap into your own creativity, not my creativity, your creativity. So that if you're facing a challenge, or if you have a question, or you're trying to make a decision, fortune telling can give you a way to think outside of that proverbial box. It is a way for you to look at the situation from a creative perspective, to give you a different way to angle the problem at hand. So if you are looking at a great big wall that is your challenge or your decision or your question, and this is this great big wall, instead of saying, I'm never going to be able to climb that wall, I'm not going to be able to do that, what fortune telling does, in theory, is that it says, well, did you happen to see this tree over here? Or did you happen to see that if you just keep walking a little bit further, there's actually a crack in the wall that you'll be able to fit through? Or have you thought about that there's a carriage coming by, and maybe the carriage can let you climb up onto the carriage and then climb over the wall from there? So that's what fortune telling is it helps you see the problem from a completely different and creative perspective. So it is a dialogue. That's the thing. Is a lot of people are like, well, you should just be able to know. And I do know some scary things sometimes. I have impressed people with telling them very true to form things about their lives that I couldn't possibly know. So yes, I do have prophetic abilities. I would hope so. I'm half puka, so I would hope that I would have some prophetic abilities. But as I said, the person receiving the fortune has to be open to that experience. They have to be willing to listen to the story being told and then try to apply that story to their lives. Another way that I can describe fortune telling for you is one of my very, very favorite books of all time is The Alchemist by Paul Coelho. Am I saying that? Please, if I've said that incorrectly, will somebody leave me a copy? Will somebody leave me a comment explaining the correct pronunciation of that great author's name? So in the story The Alchemist is about this boy who goes on a quest to pursue his dream, if you will. And it is an actual dream. He dreams about finding this treasure, and he goes off on this quest to find it. And he does meet an alchemist, but remember, the whole process of alchemy is turning lead to gold, and many people argue that it was really more of a symbolic spiritual journey than the actual physical process of taking a lump of lead and then turning it into valuable gold. It was more about transforming yourself, taking those raw elements, taking those things that weren't quite finished, if you will, and really taking all of your flaws and all of your regrets and all of your failures and turning them into something that makes a beautiful future for you. So that was really how alchemy is theorized about, rather than it being this very literal transformation of lead to gold. It was more about transforming your own self. And so that is very much what this story is about, even though it's very fantastical, and the alchemist actually does transform lead into gold for the boy on his quest. So the reason that I bring up this beautiful story is that the whole idea of pursuing and being true to yourself, of pursuing that dream and being true to yourself, and acknowledging that you're going to get sidetracked along the way of your life journey, and then either choosing to self-correct or making the choice to live the life that you've already created for yourself. Those are many of the questions that happen in this story. And so I bring this story up because this book is a fictional story. This boy and this alchemist are just characters in a story from this great author. And maybe they were based on real people in the author's life, but I don't think, although anything's possible. I mean, I'm out there flying with wings, so, I don't know. So perhaps it is possible that there are alchemists out there in the world that actually can turn a lump of lead into gold. I am not discrediting that possibility. But I think we can all agree that this is a fictional story that is not based in a real tale with actual people that live these precise events. But that doesn't mean that the story, even though the story isn't real, doesn't mean that it's not true. And so I've just stolen that line from Legends of the Guardians, which is a wonderful young person's fiction series. So if you have the chance, read all about the Owls of Ga'Hoole. And that will further on this concept of meaning. So something doesn't have to necessarily be a proven fact to still be true. And that is the power of The Alchemist for me, is that the journey of this boy and meeting the alchemist and going through that transformation and realizing that he had lost his way and really considering staying where he was and continuing to live that life that he had found himself in. Those are, I think, elements of human life that pretty much everyone can probably relate to. So this story really had great meaning for me and really was true for me. And that's very much what fortune telling is. It's about creating a story and allowing that story to take on personal meaning. So that is how I see fortune telling, and that means that I, as the fortune teller, as the storyteller, if you will, am only one piece of the puzzle, because I'm only telling the story. It is the listener who gives it meaning. So, and some people don't like the story that I tell, and that's okay too. That's always a choice. That's always a reality of any kind of telling of tales. There are many stories that I just adore that other people can't stand. They're wrong. But that's what happens. People are multifaceted, and we all have individual likes and dislikes, and so some people are not going to like all of the stories that I tell, and some people will like some of the stories I tell and hate others, because that is a truth of life as well. do check out Shakespeare on the Edge and the Rogues and Ruffians website, which will be linked down below. If you have been to Rogues and Ruffians, please leave a comment about your experience there. And if you are in the Wisconsin area, please check me out next year, because I will probably be back at Rogues and Ruffians, because I don't know if I'm a rogue or a ruffian. What do you think? Am I a rogue or a ruffian? But I will probably be coming back to Baraboo for as long as they have me. So once again, Bunny says hello. He's gonna snuggle into the bed because it's actually pretty cold in here right now. And until next time, have a fairyful day. Here's Bunny. We could do a tour. Not really. I can't. Just so you know, this is pretty much all there is of this tent. Right over here, this is my right side. This is where my little sleeping area is. And then over here, where you see some of the lights coming from, this is a little vanity that I've set up so that I can do my hair in the morning. It looks better than this when I'm out there. And back here, there is a little bit of space back here, and this is where my coat is hanging up. And that's pretty much it. I would show you, except it's 7:30 and it's dark. So that's it.